Hello and welcome to Zade is okay. This is episode 7, I believe. Want to start off by apologizing for missing yesterday's upload. I actually did see a video that said weekly uploads aren't or uploading on a specific day each week doesn't really make a difference in terms of your core audience will still be watching it regardless. But I'm more apologizing to myself because it is something that I've been semi-strict on, making sure that I don't miss. Is I always film the Zade is okay every week. I do my update. This is my therapy, blah blah blah. Yeah, this week was this week was not that bad. A lot happened. But I just wanted to get the apologies out of the way. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the support, for everyone that's watching. It's interesting. I am going down in subscribers, but I'm feeling better and better about the videos. The thumbnail last time I think was great. I think I might add the Windows XP border overlay on top of it anyways. But yeah, no, I'm still enjoying doing this. And I didn't want it to seem like I wasn't. So today is Saturday. I'm filming this the day after I usually upload Zade is okay. So technically I should film episode 8 tomorrow in theory. We'll see. But yeah, so man, I don't even know where to start. Okay, first of all, why I was late. So this week some political government stuff happened, and basically my visa is in jeopardy. For those that don't know, I'm from Scotland, and I moved to America working full-time as an editor. This is gonna get really annoying. I wish this could be wireless. Anyway, I moved to Scotland 2-ish years ago to be an editor full-time, and my visa expires in July next year. So basically I'm on a clock to renew my visa, but my plan was because when I send out my visa, I can't travel anymore. And my plan was to go home to Scotland for Christmas and then come back as soon as I land back in January, I send out my visa. So news has come through. Sorry if I'm breathing. I'm still not fully better. I'll talk about that later. Had an asthma attack last night. Wasn't awesome. Haven't had that in years. Anyway, yeah, so the visa I apply for is the O1B. It's for extraordinary ability, basically to do with my editing, as a valid reason for why I should be in the States. And so the government right now is in talks about scrapping that visa. And I also saw that they were at full capacity as of October 1st. They won't be accepting new ones. So today is September 27th, which means I have 4 days 4 days to get the submission done and ready. So basically after I finish this, I'm going to try stream for 2 to 3 hours, and then I'm just going to lock in on my visa application. I've got a lot of it done already, and fortunately it is a pretty similar process to the visa I used to get here in the first place. Oh, sorry, it's an EB1 that I'm applying for. I'm currently on the O1. It's weird that I'm not that scared. I feel like a lot of the time things do end up working out for me to some degree, and I feel like this visa won't be any different. Also I'm standing, in case you didn't notice. Whoa, I have all this space. I don't know why I decided to do this. I think change of scenery. I think I watched a YouTube video where this guy was standing, so I was like, why don't I try to do that? I am so hungry. I'm doing a diet right now. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about, but that's good. That's what this is for. But let me not lose my train of thought. So yeah, I need to send out my visa application. Fortunately, it's pretty similar to my last one, so it should be reasonably easy / doable. I'm doing it without a lawyer this time. Last time I paid for a lawyer, just emptied out my bank account. But it was worth it. I got to be here for 3 years. I did a lot in that 3 years. I'm very happy about it. But yeah, I'm not really worried about it. I just have a feeling that it's going to go well. I'm going to get it done. It's going to be a high quality visa application. Who would reject that? And yeah, fingers crossed. This would be terrible. This would age so poorly if it gets rejected, but I think I believe in it. But I am sad that this is going to be the first Christmas away from my family. Specifically, I'm my brother. I have every single Christmas I've spent with my brother, and I'd go home for college, or I've come home from America, or whatever it is. So for this to be the first one that that my brother's not at, or at least that I'm not there for my brother, that I don't like that. You know, I feel kind of bad, and I still wish there was a workaround, but I just can't take the risk, which sucks. But I'll probably just FaceTime him like most of the day during Christmas or something. We'll see. I just don't want him to be alone at Christmas. But yeah, so that's the visa situation. Work-wise, pretty good week, you know. Client B, I think I mentioned it last week, I'm not sure, but Client B gave me a video. They gave it to me on time. They gave me the footage with the full week preparation, like I requested, and I finished the video a day early. I only had a lot of the notes were just like ha ha ha, like, which is good, like they're laughing at the editing. But there was a few notes that were and a lot of the notes was just removing stuff. It wasn't like you missed something or you need to add something here. It was just like, oh, remove this meme. This is overkill. You don't need to add that. And I was like, oh, this is like perfect. I think I'm finally starting to find the flow of what I'm good at with these videos. Like a big part of Client B's videos is sound design. And I think I put way too much emphasis on the individual big poppy edits. And that's what took so long with the videos. But that's dangerous. Okay. But because I my last note had like 100 comments and all of them were just add a sound effect. I kind of like went overkill this time, because last time I thought I went overkill, so I like dialed it back a little bit, but they were like, there can never be too much. So I was like, bet. I run that up with sound effects and then mixing that with like the zooms and stuff. You don't need the super flashy edits. You don't need all of the memes on screen. It's just very possible. I was like overdoing sections to try and cover up underdoing other sections that they wanted in their videos. And I feel like I finally got the style down. I got the footage on, I think, Saturday, and I synced it all up, set up the project. I think on that day, Monday and Tuesday, I did the cut down. Wednesday and Thursday, I did VFX. And then Friday today, I finished the last half of the video. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty proud of the video too. I think it's really funny. I think there's some good, tasteful edits in it as well. So I'm excited to see how their audience responds to it, if they think it's good or, you know, whatever. It sucks that it drives me, but comments on a video that I've edited saying that it's good is kind of like my motivator to keep doing great things, you know? But yeah, so that's like the first time, because my girlfriend made a joke where basically every time Client B, something happens with Client B, I have the worst week of my life. Like every time I have a video due for Client B, it's like the worst week of my life consistently. Like it happened last time I was talking about that, and then I missed the Austin trip. And then I got sick this time, and with the Client B deadline, and it's just like it just feels crazy that it's like always tied to this thing. It's just like, oh, this is the week I gotta like mentally prepare for something to go wrong, but I managed to work around it. I stuck to my schedule. We're training up the editors because we want to do daily videos in November for Client A, and so I'm getting prepared for that. It's very plausible. And I booked a trip to New Orleans. Yeah. Why New Orleans? Well, originally, like I said, we were going to Austin. I was going to try and reschedule that. So it was going to be 3 of us going. And then one of them, he went last time, like when I wasn't able to go. So he's like, I'm not like super drawn to going again, which is completely fair. And then the other friend didn't end up going either. So we were just going to go, the both of us, to Austin. And then he brought it up to me that he has like friends in New Orleans, and like New Orleans might be like cooler and has like he wasn't saying it has better food, but he basically just brought up the suggestion of New Orleans, and I was like, cool. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I don't know why I would go. Like from my perspective, it felt like he was like, oh, we should go to Ohio instead of Austin. And I was like, why? I just didn't get it, but I'm like, you know America better than me. You've lived here longer, so you probably know it better. And then he also was like, it was funny because he was like subtly trying to hint that I should bring my girlfriend, like that we can, whoa, don't lag. Okay, there we go. He was like subtly trying to hint in the conversation that I can invite my girlfriend, because he would also be meeting someone there. And I just wasn't getting it. Like I was like, oh, like, and I was thinking like, can I invite my girlfriend? But I didn't know if that's what they were saying. And then he like blatantly had to be like invite her. Like that's why I brought it up. I feel like she should come. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, now my girlfriend's coming on the trip too, which is like an even bigger win. Like that's awesome. So we're going to that in November. And I'm excited for that. I'm going to make sure I've set up my time off work. I've got everything planned, so I will be able to make this, and it will not end up like Austin Part 2. I'm going to actually go. And yeah, I mean, overall, I'm just like, I feel pretty good. I feel I got my work done. The videos are high quality. We're training up the editors more now. So I'm doing more and more review work than specifically editing, which I'm actually enjoying. I feel like a little bit like a project manager that's like overseeing everything and making sure everything looks professional and like teaching people. And we have new editors joining the team. And it's like everything's like really coming together full circle. Like my goal was to drop from 60 to 70 hour weeks down to 20 to 30 hour weeks. And I think I'm on track for that. That's the goal. There is like a deep, almost fear, because the editing job is very, what's the word? Versatile is not the word. Basically, it's very up and down. Like it can switch at any point. I've seen people get fired. I mean, not out of nowhere, but it's just like the people that you don't think are going to get fired can get fired. And it's like your value to the company is basically your value as an editor, or not the company, but to your client or whoever you're working with. And so I feel like there's always this deep rooted fear that I'm next. Like in my head, I'm good at what I do. People enjoy what I do, but like as my hours go down and I'm training up more editors to do what I'm doing and I'm like building them up, there's like a deep fear that like eventually I'm training people to replace me, you know? And again, that's like, I've spoken to my work and like I know that that's not the case, but there's always that element of like, oh, like at some point, you know, when you teach someone something, your goal is that they become as good, if not better than you, right? They can learn from the mistakes that you didn't. You know, I've been editing for client A for I think it's almost 4 years now. Or is it 4 years? Maybe it was 3-year anniversary. So maybe I think it's almost 4 years now. Since I was like 17 and I was in high school and I started editing. And I remember getting the job and being so excited and, you know, putting my all, and then my editing started to stand out and it became a whole thing with like the intro, with like the intros and stuff like that. And I've always like stood out in that sense. But when I'm teaching other people to stand out similarly, where it's like, hey, like this is an edit I would do, this is how I would do this. And then, you know, it starts with them trying it. Sometimes it lands, sometimes it doesn't. I let them know notes on like, oh, this is closer to it, or this is what I'd avoid, blah, blah, blah. And then next time they nail it, or like there's one note, and then next time, and eventually there will be no notes. And my fear is almost like, what do I do when there's no notes? Because it's like, I'm proud that I've trained them up to do things, so I have to do less. There's less work that I need to do. They're doing amazing, and I'm proud of the videos they do, right? Like your goal as an editor each time is to come back with no notes, right? You want to finish a great video and then come back, and event starts off like with a new client, it's maybe like 50 to 100 notes, sometimes 200 notes. Then it goes down to 100 notes, and then it'll be down to like 30 notes ideally, and then 5 notes. And then eventually, like right now, with client A, when it's just me editing, I get notes maybe once every like 6 videos. And any other notes are usually just changing the order of the clips because the producer has a specific order of like what they think is funny. So and you know what's interesting? I think that's the only, like I trust our producer's opinion on basically everything. The only thing that I ever find myself disagreeing on is the order of the videos. Like when I'm watching those, I mean, I think I'm also blinded by the fact I'm not like sitting down, like raw watching the whole thing. I'm like I almost see the video in sections as I'm editing it. But yeah, like he'll watch the video and be like, okay, move this part in first place and move this TikTok to second place or whatever. And I'm like, damn, I thought that was the least funny one and you're putting it on the front. Interesting. But you know, he's the producer. There's a reason he's so good at what he does. And the videos perform super well because of him. Or I guess because of the whole team, like my editing, his titles, thumbnails, etc., client A's performance on camera, etc. But like, he is definitely a big impact as to the performance. Like the packaging decides who sees the YouTube video, right? And yeah, so that's the only thing. It's weird because I'll see it and I'm like, damn, I really thought we aligned on a lot of these things, but I thought this TikTok was really unfunny and I thought this other one was super funny. So I would have put that in first, but but also I'm like, I don't get paid to argue. Like I'm welcome to, I'm obviously like welcome to my opinion. And I do make it clear when I disagree with like, a no, or if I'm like, I don't think this lands, or I think this is better, or they're like, change the text to something like this. And like, I can say when I disagree. But there's some things like specifically that where I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I don't need to fight that though. Like the video still comes out great. It's not like an editing note. It's just, he knows more about retention than I do. So I'm gonna just let the retention guy do what he knows best. I don't watch reaction videos. So I'm like the wrong audience for like what makes, a good like reaction video, like what TikTok should go first to make it good. I just know I like videos with good editing, and I believe the videos we make have good editing and good editing bits. Like that's what I watch them. Like that's actually happened recently where one of our new editors, or I guess two of our new editors, both of them are doing great, and there was two videos that we worked on, and I said to Matt, and I was like, oh, this video is so good. Like the editors killed it. I left my notes, I did my tweaks, but like they really like brought it home with like the jokes and the bits and the editing, blah, blah, blah. And then Matt was like, and I was like, great, can't wait to watch it. And then he watches both of the videos and he's like, I mean, they were okay. Like, I think they were good. But the like content wasn't super good. And I was like, damn, really? Like, did I miss something? And then I realized the video itself wasn't like stand out awesome. Like the performance wasn't like specifically funnier than normal. But it was just the editing was really good. Like, I'm like, my reference of a good video for client A is just how good the editing is, which is not a great reference when you're like making commentary videos, but like for me it's just like this editor did this really good like 3D edit and I thought that was awesome, and like that's what's in my mind when I say this is a good video, and not like he didn't have a bunch of jokes to say about these clips or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, I really need to look at this more objectively as like content and less so as like segments of editing pieces that would look great on a portfolio. Even though I still think those videos are great because of the editing, I understand why he was like, I mean, I'm surprised that that you hyped this up so much, Zade, but yeah, I'm excited. Things with client A are going well, and I know I'm not going to become irrelevant. I still have purpose I built up the style that we are using to editing, like the guidebook of what we do with editing, how we do the bits, what jokes we do and don't do. I like built up over the past few years, and now I'm like training other people to do that, not so that they replace me, but so that we can do more. I'm still going through a lot of the videos, and even when I'm at a point where I'm just leaving notes, that's still one less job that someone else has to do. So that mindset has made me more excited for the editors getting better and better until eventually I'll just get a video back, no notes. That's most likely what's going to happen in November. Since it's daily uploads, I don't really have the capacity to be leaving like specific finicky notes about zooms and stuff that I would do differently. But again, my goal is that I train them to a point where I won't even need to ask or like give those kind of notes. They'll just know the feeling. I was talking to one of my friends, the one I'm going to New Orleans with actually, about like editing, and how I was watching this channel Digital Spaghetti, and they interviewed Joel Haver. Or Javier, I think it's Joel Haver, but anyway, he's a guy that does like I don't even know if you call it sketch comedy, but he makes funny videos, and he did the 12 movies in a year series, and it was really, really good. And I was watching him break down one of the movies he made, and I hadn't even watched the movie, but seeing the breakdown made me like, oh, I want to see like how how what he's talking about was implemented, and if it was implemented well. I think it was a really good movie. It's called The Diarrhea Brothers. I know, crazy name, but it was really like entertaining, like start to finish. I was laughing. A lot of the jokes were hitting. The pacing was really good. The story was like, it felt very like 2 a.m. with your friends at a sleepover in high school, and you think like this joke is the funniest thing ever, and you like keep adding to it. That's what it felt like watching that movie, where it was like I think there's one point where they just like break into song, and then one of the guys like gets really sad because they're like, oh, I don't think like the song I was singing was very good, and then someone else breaks into song to like show them like a song about how that guy's song wasn't bad, like it was pretty good, and then they stop because they think that their song sucks, and like half his time, and they're like, what kind of song is that? It's like, I'm explaining it worse than it really was. I recommend you watch The Diarrhea Brothers. It's a crazy name, but it's a really, really good movie. Really good movie. But anyway, I was watching this channel where Joel was breaking it down, and I watch a lot of editing content because I'm curious how people edit differently than me a little bit. You know, like I feel like there's random techniques that someone does, or random hotkeys that some people know that they've been using for years, and they don't even know that it's not automatic to other people. But I don't know about it. You know, like I remember last year I found out that if you hold Alt on video layer in Premiere, you can duplicate the clip just by holding Alt and dragging it somewhere else. You duplicate it. So good. And like learning that the little blue squares on the left of the screen, that allocates like active tracks. So if you split down the middle of a layer, but the blue square by the V or the audio on the left isn't highlighted, then it won't split that track. If you copy and paste something and that's not highlighted, it won't paste on that track. And it's like, and if you're like trying to move between clips, like I use my mouse to move forward or backwards to like the end of clips. If you're doing that and it's not highlighted, it won't include that clip, so you can like easily skip to the next music on your music track layer. And it's like I learned that randomly through a YouTube video that I couldn't even name right now. That was just some guy passively talking about editing, and then they did that, and I was like, wait, what? And then I figured it out. You know, it's like that's why it feels like that's like research for my job almost, is like keeping up on how other people do things differently from me, because there was some stuff that Joel did that I was like, oh, I feel like I have a more efficient way of doing that. But then there was some stuff I was like, I hadn't thought about that or why you would do that, but it makes sense. And yeah, that stuff is like even if it's like pretty layman term stuff in terms of like where it'll be like, you know, if you do this thing, it evokes this emotion. It's like, oh, I guess I know that. But then he'll say something passive. He's like, and also this is why this does this in that movie. And I'm like, oh, like that makes so much sense. It's like when people watch the Corridor Digital, the like weekly on Saturdays, they review like VFX of movies and TV and cartoons and whatever. And it's like, I haven't watched those in a while, but like watching that, you'll find so many, even if you know everything about VFX, you'll find a random thing that some VFX company did in like 2004 that shaped VFX today. But if you go back to that technique, like it still works. And it's like applying that to like edits that I do now, it's so satisfying and so interesting where it's like, damn, like they really figured it out, or like they knew this thing that decided how everything else works. Yeah, no, I don't know. Like I love, what's the word? I just love watching editing related content, or anything that like helps me learn, you know, or like learning about my work, or learning about what I like to do, or like learning ways to be better at what I do. I just love that. It's so satisfying to me. I feel like there's so much value in that. And I think that's why I enjoy streaming so much as well. Because this is something I would watch. Like that's always been my not litmus test. My bar for like content that I make is I only want to make things that I would watch, right? And so it's like, if I'm making a tutorial, I want to make the opening of the tutorial entertaining and the rest of the tutorial actually valid, with like I hate when a tutorial goes through and doesn't mention hotkeys that it's using. Even if you're like you've been doing tutorials for years and is built for professionals, just like put the hotkey on screen. You know, like you don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to say what it does. Just putting the hotkey on screen for the people that don't know about it is how people learn these hotkeys and get better at it, you know? And it's not that much effort. Like, the hotkey, you press it once, you just put on screen, Alt plus this does this, here's why. Like, you don't even have to put a here's why I use it. Literally, Alt plus this does this, boom. Now it's on screen. Anyone that wants to know more about that can figure it out. Anyone that already knew that is already ignoring it, But yeah, that's why I'm like, if I'm making a tutorial, I want it to be entertaining where I would watch it. If I do a stream, I want it to be about, like, if it's about editing, it's like, I want it to be an editing stream that I would watch. For example, I would watch a stream where someone is like making edits based on my input and other people in the chat, and like we're building it together. That's what I enjoyed watching on stream. So that's what I want to do. And speaking of which, this week I went to it's called Real Good Buds, REEL Good Buds in LA. It's like a film showcase event, I guess. I'm trying to think how to describe it. Basically, a bunch of people would submit films. It's not like a film festival. I mean, it's like a low-key film festival, I guess, where you send 5 to 10 minute films, or you can send there was animation there was fake ads there was what's it called? There was a stand-up special there, the first 8 minutes of a stand-up special. It was really good. It was really, really good. I'm underplaying it. Sorry. I remember going in there. Basically, my girlfriend is part of a what's it called? Feature film that's coming out soon. They're raising donations. Actually, I'll put the link for that in the description if any of you wanted to donate or were interested. Anyway, so they're raising donations to finish the film, but they showed the first 10 minutes of the film there. And I was like, damn, this is pretty good. And so that's what I was there for, right, initially. So I thought it was literally just we go in a room, I'm there to support my girlfriend and also see what the film is. And then that was the event. It was I was really just there for a 10-minute thing, and I was like, damn, this is only 10 minutes and I'm driving all this way. I'm gonna support my girlfriend, but maybe we should do something after this. I get there and they have 10 films lined up, with all the directors and the writers and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh, what is this? This is weird. This is not what I expected. We're yeah, we have all these films set up, and we are a nonprofit. So, well, not they are a nonprofit, but they don't profit. Any donations towards the event goes straight into the rent for the building, and then anything on top of rent is given to a different charity each month. And I was like, wow, that's really noble too. I mean, but then I'm also there's an air to a film student film, right? There's a kind of, whether it's the camera quality isn't quite there, it's kind of grainy, or the lighting's not there, or you can tell, you can see the lavs whatever it is, right? There's a kind of there's a kind of aura to that you can tell, especially when you watch a lot of them. And I was kind of expecting that until, for most of the movies or shorts or whatever, until the one that my girlfriend was in. I was so wrong. So first one is a stand-up special, and it was good. It was a good special. The guy was pretty funny. It's rare that I found stand-up standout entertaining, really. I'll laugh at a few jokes, but it's not very often that I'm belly laughing consistently with stand-up. Just something about it. I don't know if I think it's the way that some people read it, where it feels scripted versus some people can really say, where it's it feels like you're just talking to me, and this is like I'm at a dinner party and you're telling me a story, right? That's kind of stand-up stands out to me as oh, this is funny. And the one there was pretty good. I did get a little bit of the scripted vibe, where you can tell it's rehearsed, and all stand-up mostly is rehearsed, but I don't like knowing it's rehearsed. It's like watching a movie, they're acting, this isn't really happening, but you don't want to feel they're acting, this isn't really happening, but the guy was cool, and that set the bar. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is kind of professional stuff. It was shot pretty well, and the jokes were good, and it was the first 10 minutes or whatever, and then it would end and then say, watch the full special on this channel, blah blah blah. I was like, okay, interesting. The next one was this animation called Viewfinder by my phone's using as the camera, but Viewfinder, I think if you search Viewfinder animation on YouTube, you'll see it or something. So good. It was I was watching and I was like, this is it's the animation style was so satisfying and nostalgic. The song choice was really beautiful. It felt like I was mean, viewfinder with the title, it felt like I was watching life through someone else's eyes, like glimpses of joy and sadness and excitement and just like very like natural conversations. It almost felt like they were going through life with a microphone in their pocket, and then they just animated like segments of that. You know, it was so well done. It was so well done. And I was like, damn, like this is some good stuff. And then they played a short film, and immediately it was shot really beautifully. And I'm like, what is going on? And then they had a few comedy sketches, and then they had some fake ads in between. So it was like an ad would play that someone made between like the next short film. So good. There was a college, community college, short film. I'm trying to tell the difference between short film and sketch. Anyway, it was a short film about this guy who like is at work, and the computer's talking to them and is like makes them dance, and it's like it just felt so satisfying. Like the lighting wasn't perfect. That was like the one thing that I noticed. Again, the student film effect, but like he clearly had a plan, he had an idea, and he executed on it, and he seemed to enjoy it, and it was good. Like it was weird. I guess it's weird that I've been in LA for over 2 years now, and I'm just now like acknowledging there are creative people and talented people in LA. You know, it feels weird, but it's like I've never been to an event like this. I'm so used to like I am drawn to talented people in my circle. I'm drawn to talented people and people in my circle, like my girlfriend. Something that really like that I'm really attracted to is that she is talented. You know, she's funny, she's smart, but she's also a good singer, and like that funny and good singer combo is like I never want to have the awkward I think this is okay, or like having to lie about someone's work being good. Like I want to be around people that can like take criticism. You know, like editing wise, I have friends that will send me like color grades, and then even though I don't do a lot of color grades, you don't have to do so much color grading to know when something looks a little off, right? And they trust me to be honest about my opinion on that, and then they take it, and if I'm wrong about something, they'll let me, well, not wrong with an opinion, but if it's like they can explain something as to why something happened, or they'll but a lot of the time it's just like acknowledging like, okay, that makes sense, and then changing it and then updating. And it's like I like being around people like, sorry, I thought the door was opening. I like being around people that I can trust and that impress me in that way. And I would hate to be in a relationship where that isn't the case, you know? Like, I like being able to send my roommate a clip of something that I edited, and then they can be like, oh, this is good, but the shadow's inaccurate. The shadow should be here. And it's like, boom, okay, now I know the shadow should be over there. Or watching a video with, sending a clip to even my girlfriend and being like, what do you think? They're like, oh, this is good, but I think it could be funnier if you do this. And then I do it and it is funny. It's like, I like having that dynamic. And so in my head, it's like, that's limited to my inner circle. Like Rush, one of my friends, Rush, is the best storytime animator out there. I've said that consistently. He is the funniest, where it's the most like a show and less like a YouTube video. It feels like a Cartoon Network almost show that's on YouTube. My roommate, Skim, so talented, great storyboard artist, great animator, and a great writer, and a good editor. Great. I don't know why I said good for that one. I just said good because he mainly does the animation and storyboard stuff. But he's also a great editor. And it's like, it's like I'm surrounded by people that are talented. And it's weird, like acknowledging like, oh, there's other people in the world that are also surrounded by people that are talented. So going to this event, it just felt so like it just felt so cool. I was like, there's so many talented people in LA, and this is a place where you can, also it was free. That was the part that like was so mind blowing to me, is that it was completely free and donation based. I made a donation, because it was so awesome and it just like blew my mind in LA. But yeah, no, I'm going again next month. I'm really excited. I want to try to go monthly, and I'm thinking about putting the Zanio show in there. I'm kind of nervous because the camera quality on one of the cameras is not great, but I really want to do it. I'm really thinking about it. I just want to see, because again, Zanio show has mainly been shown to people I know and people in my circle or my friends, but I'm really curious to see how another audience reacts to it. I'm thinking maybe I just do the sketch segment because I'm really proud of that, but I am also really proud of the whole video. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I think it would go well. I rewatched it and I still laugh at the jokes. I still like the editing. There's obviously things I would change, but there always will be. But yeah, I'm thinking maybe next month, if not the month after, I'll submit it. I'm just like, I guess part of me, and this is like part of going to events like this, is that part of me is kind of scared that no one will laugh, or people would be like, what? Or just confused, or they'll miss jokes. And it's like, I guess I've never watched it in front of an audience before. I've only put it out and had the audience respond to it later. But it's had good response, so we'll see. I was also thinking maybe that would push me to film the second episode and then edit that better and then have that be the one that I put in front of the festival. I was also thinking maybe I try set, and okay, I'm jumping into the planning too much territory, but if my hours align for it, like if I get less hours and it makes sense, I'd love to set that as my monthly project. You know, like maybe it could be each month I want to make something, shoot something, edit something with a 3-week deadline that I can submit to this event every single month. It's the last Thursday of every month. And I'm like, what if that can be my deadline? You know, like what if I edit something that will be like that, like that's the video. I don't know. I think it would be a lot of fun. I think it could put a lot of pressure on the works, but I think that's part of what needs to happen is I need some kind of mandatory thing holding me to something, you know, for me to be able to do it. That's kind of how it felt with streaming, honestly, since people have subbed and now there's like money, like I'm not making money from it, but the fact that people have invested money into it, I'm just like, I need to be good now. Like I need to stick to the schedule. Like people are invested in the success of this and I can't mess that up. I need to grow this. I need to entertain people, and not in the, oh my God, like this is the rest of my life now, but in like I'm looking forward to it. And like now I have a reason to do that. Wow. Standing has kind of made talking way easier. It feels like I'm talking to a person. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really excited about the creative aspects that come with that, going to that festival. And, you know, you meet like everyone that makes the stuff there is also there, by the way, like the directors, the camera people, the writers, like all of them are there. And yeah, it was just really cool. I really want to go to more stuff like that. I think it's so good. Okay. So I should probably talk about this. So last night I had an asthma attack, which first time I've had that in 10 years. For context, you know about the cough. I talked about that last week where I was sick and blah, blah, blah. So they gave me a bunch of medication, and I don't know if it was overkill or what, but they gave me something that was supposed to combat the cough and help with that. They gave me a second thing that's specifically for the cough with like, that's like if you start coughing aggressive. So this is for like, you take this twice a day. The other thing, it was like take one a day for 7 days or whatever. This one is like take twice a day as you need while coughing. They also gave me antibiotics, and they're like, don't start this unless the cough stays till Tuesday. I have no intention of starting that, not doing it. I thought it was just like another medication. And then everyone I've told about it is like, do not take that unless you absolutely have to. And I'm like, that's all the warning I need. I'm not touching that stuff. So I'm not taking the antibiotics, even though it's now Saturday and the cough kind of stayed till around Thursday, but it's gone now, fortunately. Or mostly, I mean, you saw me cough, but mostly it's gone. It's a lot better. But yeah, last night, and then they also gave me an inhaler because I mentioned asthma, and they gave me promethazine. Promethazine, it's so funny because in my head that's just a song like I can't fit down the cup, like is that song, like is the meme song almost. But I got it and I was like, oh, okay, interesting. And they're like, yeah, take this if you start coughing at night, like this will help you sleep. And it says like every 8 hours, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, sure. And so the past like few nights I would take it to sleep. I think I've only taken it 2 or 3 times total in the past 2 weeks. Just because of the whole like lean thing. I don't know. I think subconsciously I was like, am I taking drugs by doing this? Like if they prescribed me cocaine, would I get hooked on cocaine? I think that was like some weird subconscious fear. Clearly not the case. It's literally just a cough medicine, like a syrup. But anyway, I was like very cautious about taking it, and I would take it the past few nights. I'd start coughing and then I'd take it and then I would be able to sleep better. So last night I thought it was the same thing, and my cough came back and I was like, oh, this is annoying. I'll wait it out. I coughed some more and I was like, okay, this is keeping me up. I can't sleep now. I'm just going to take the promethazine and go back to sleep, right? I take the promethazine. I'm telling you, 0 to 100 immediately. I'm just like, my cough gets 10 times worse. Immediately, I'm like, I can't like stop coughing. I'm like trying to gasp for air. And then I'm literally trying to gasp for air because I'm like, between coughs, when I breathe, there's like no oxygen going in. I'm like breathing as deep as I can. And it's like, it feels like if there's like a funnel of oxygen, it's like the funnel just like closed up. Whereas like grains of oxygen would come in, where it was like just enough for me not to drop dead, but it wasn't enough for me to like really do anything. And I'm just like, like wheezing in my bed. And I'm like, so my roommate's sister is in town. And I didn't want to wake her up. And then my roommate, not sure if you can see, but he's sleeping on the sofa bed or on an air mattress in our living room, so his sister can take his room. And so I'm like, oh, I don't want to wake anyone up. And I'm kind of thugging out, and then I'm like, oh my God, this is getting really bad. I'm not sure how long I'm going to be able to breathe, and I'm freaking out. And so I wrote a will, not legally binding at all, and it made no sense, but I just wanted it to be clear in case anything came up where someone would have to figure out what to do with my money. And I just, hi. Oh, welcome back. And I wrote a will, and the will just said anything and everything that I own should go to my brother immediately. And I was like, damn, am I really going to die tonight? And I'm like, I don't want to wake up my roommates with my coughing and all of that. And then I like wheezing went into the living room, like tiptoeing, and I got my inhaler and I took it. Holy, I just started breathing again. It was crazy. And then I realized it was an asthma attack. And then I was telling my friend Jacob about it, and he was like, and he Googled it, and yep, not supposed to take promethazine if you have asthma or any form of lung problems, because it can stop your breathing. So that was awesome. That was great. It was really cool. I was just like, well, I guess I might be dying tonight. It's crazy. American healthcare system, right? I'm pretty tight with money. I'll be honest. I'll be the first to say, don't like spending money, hate when money is spent, and I don't get it back. And American healthcare system. So I'm Googling, trying to figure out an urgent care available near me, like while I'm like trying to breathe, and none of them come up, right? I can only accept, my healthcare only takes, I have a specific health insurance that's only taken in certain places. I'm trying to Google them. All of them are closed. An urgent care closes. Why does an urgent care close? So then I'm like Googling like a 24/7 one, and they're like, yeah, only specific insurances. So what do I do? Do I just die or spend $30,000 to fix a cough? Like, what are those my only two options? I was just realizing how fortunate I was that I got the inhaler recently, because I didn't have an inhaler before. Well, I did when I was younger, but way out of date, probably like 15 years out of date. But yeah, so then I was like, wow, I really just would have been cooked if I didn't have this inhaler on me. That would have been it. Like my phone search was literally just like what to do, how much do you have to pay? I was like scrolling through Reddit while just like repeatedly trying to do that, trying to like figure out how I can like live. But yeah, I finally, thankfully, I figured it out. I was alive, and I realized, so I'm not taking that promethazine anymore. I'm just going to take the L with the cough if it happens, thug it out, drink a lot of water. I don't know. And yeah, so that was my near death. I'm writing a will next week now, after I do my visa stuff, because I was like, if I do die randomly, I need to figure stuff out. Like, my roommate needs to have at least 3 months of rent covered so that he has time to like find a new roommate or whatever. And then all the rest of my money just goes to my brother, basically, for now. Like, if I got married, I'd give to my wife and my kids, or I'd maybe give more to some of my friends. And it was weird because I was selecting my like who takes the money after I die stuff, like on setting up the will, just on my phone, starting it. And I was like, oh, I hadn't really thought about this. It was just my brother, I guess, who else? And then I was like, okay, I'll put my stepdad. And then I was like, because he's good with money and he'd know what to do, how to invest it. He'd know what I'd want to do, which is like give it to my family, basically. And then I also put down my friend Rush. He's like the last one. And I was like, yeah, he is someone I also trust a lot with money. Like he's someone I feel like, again, if I gave him all of my money, he wouldn't just spend it and buy a car. He would give like worst case scenario. If something happened, he'd know what to do with it. He'd know how to split it. He would use it well. He'd probably make something cool with it. I don't know. But yeah, so that was my near death. That was my week. Pretty good week. And, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna say, originally I thought I was gonna say like a 6, but client B video done, client A work going well, near death, but I survived it and learned a lot, and I had a great time at that film showcase. So I'm gonna say an 8.5, maybe 9 this week. That's pretty good. All right, see you later. Bye.